Okay, can you tell me more about Tuymaada and how you can get this gold champion?
Okay, so maybe I'll start off with what this competition is. So this competition is mostly held in Russia for Russians, and if I'm not mistaken, it's from Sakha or Yakutia. Well, for one of the facts, Indonesia is one of the invited countries to also participate, and the Olympiad's mostly in Russian or English.
So you are good also in physics or in informatics. What about
Yes.
your math, biology, and chemistry, and maybe another subjects?
Yeah, most of them focus on analysis though. So at least in SMA Wardaya, if you can think about it critically and if you can analyze the question, I think you're pretty much good as long as you also understand and remember the material. Okay.
Tell me about what tips and tricks to become a good champion or a good Olympiad.
Okay. So maybe one of the things you need to do is just
Okay, can you tell me more about Tuymaada and how you can get this gold champion?
okay. So maybe I'll start off with what this competition is. So this competition is mostly held in Russia for Russians, and if I'm not mistaken, it's from Sakha or Yakutia. Well, for one of the facts, Indonesia is one of the invited countries to also participate, and the Olympiad's mostly in Russian or English.
I've heard.
Yeah.
I've heard from
Yes.
several generation.
Yes.
A few or 2 or 3 years from now.
Yes.
They actually Tuymaada is a very difficult one.
Oh.
And how you can get this gold? This is amazing actually.
Okay. Yeah. So in fact, actually, I already followed Tuymaada last year as well, and there I got the second degree diploma, which is their way of saying silver medal. And also, when it comes to preparation, I also look back at the past papers or the past problems they have in their archive, as well as upsolve certain problems in other online judges like Code Forces. So if you're doing competitive programming, you can use those to practice your skills. But for me, since I already have some basic grasp of the material, most of the time I just read the questions and try to think out the observations that are needed to solve them.
Okay, what subject you have?
Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot to introduce, but I'm following informatics. Yes, and if you want to follow others, Tuymaada also has mathematics, physics, and chemistry Olympiads.
Tell me how you feeling when you got this gold in these years.
Well, for me, I think it was. Okay, I think it's not that much of a surprise when it comes to the announcement because they actually published the public scoreboard for informatics at least just after the competition ends.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
It exactly have the result after the
Yes.
finish the the competition.
Yes. And since it was 2 days, so when we got the results after day 2, we can immediately go ahead and compile the results ourselves. So I actually already know how much my grade is and how much my ranking is.
Okay.
And after the contest, well, what I feel is a bit thrilling as well to know the score because, well, some of the questions are quite easy, but some of them are quite hard. So it really shifts the distribution in some unusual ways.
Okay. Let me know. Did you do it on site or online? Because this is Russia, right? So tell me more about this.
Yeah, so evidently I did not fly to Russia for this, and
We
so I did
wish.
it at home.
You do
Yeah.
it at home, so
Yes,
it is online
online.
competition. But actually, maybe one day or maybe before the COVID, maybe they have it on site.
Yeah, perhaps.
Perhaps, okay. We really hope that we can take our students go to Russia for this year. I really hope you too. Okay, Tuymaada, compare to OSN, compare to maybe Canadian
Okay.
competition or maybe IMC or maybe more than that. Yeah, we don't know. How do you rank those all compared
Okay.
to Tuymaada?
So maybe I'll start off with OSN because that's the easiest. So one of the trends that happened in Tuymaada is that people who actually want to join OSN or are joining OSN will go ahead and join Tuymaada as well. So we've seen quite a few names that are actually quite influential. Like if I want to say names, like or yeah, maybe I won't say the names, but some people who are quite good in informatics now, some of which have already followed IOI in the past few years. They also joined Tuymaada before they do OSN.
Okay, they did well,
Yes.
and also the champion in Tuymaada.
Yeah, so one of the person, so in 2023's absolute winner, he got gold in Tuymaada.
Okay, you also get gold in informatic, right?
Yes, this year.
Yeah. Okay. So how do you prepare actually? How do you prepare for Tuymaada? Tuymaada. Okay.
Well, first of all, since I already did OSN as well, I believe I already have some of the material. So for me, it was mostly looking back at the past papers to get a good sense of what the questions are and what to expect later on during the contest. And sadly, you can't upsolve them. That is, you can't code and then you can't submit the results to get a verdict, unlike most competitive programming job platforms. But fortunately, they provide the write-up solution, so you can at least think about the solutions and check it yourself.
Is it easy to get the past paper from the internet or other source?
Oh, yes, in fact. They actually keep an archive on their own website. Yes, along with the past results. So if you can somehow think about it and get your shadow scores, maybe you can compare it to some of the winners of that contest in the past years.
Okay, you took informatics, and then,
Yes.
as I heard before, you also now take what do you mean physics for OSN.
Yes.
How do you manage both of them?
Okay. Yeah, so for that, it's not as hard as most people would actually come to believe, because most of the time it's just a matter of smartly switching between those. So for example, a few days before Tuymaada, I don't really focus on physics. I barely touch it, and I just spent myself trying to warm up to problems on, say, Code Forces, which is an online judge for competitive programming.
Okay.
But then after that, when I was preparing for OSK and also OSP today, I will literally just leave competitive programming and I would touch a very few lines of code in between, and I would focus on trying to get up to speed again and trying to adjust with physics again.
Okay, I feel intrigued because it is coming from the person who really know and very good in both of the subject.
Yes.
What if, for example, like a new student who wants
Okay.
to join with the informatics or physics, want to join with the Olympiad class, for example, like we have in Wardaya College, yeah. Is it difficult for the beginner to join? I mean, to learn the basic informatics, for example.
Well, so one of the things is that the first step you need to do is, of course, learn how to code. So this can be in any language. You need to be used to the paradigm of having to code and think procedurally. So that's one of the things. You also need to have some basic grasp of discrete math. So this covers things like combinatorics, which is calculating how many combinations or probabilities. So usually this comes up in your statistics course.
Okay, statistic also involved, yeah.
Yeah.
And for yourself, yeah.
Yeah.
How long you start this kind of competition, and when exactly the first time that you learn about code or
Okay.
coding? Yeah.
Well, for me, there was actually 2 phases to going into competitive programming. Like I said, when you go into competitive programming, you generally need to learn basic programming first. So you don't readily just jump into the mathematics or into the data structures first without understanding the fundamentals. For me, I fell in love with coding since I was in 4th grade.
Okay.
Yes, I found this intriguing book about 101 things to do lots of unusual, maybe Western oriented stuff, but one of the things there is learning how to code. And really, after looking at the syntax for a while, it just hooked me, and that's when I learned to code in general.
Okay. Student, you have to see this is many kind of words that actually using in informatics. For example, like statistic, coding, and also syntax.
Yes.
Yeah, very basic, but student needs to know about
Yeah.
this, right?
Yeah, so personally, if I were you and trying to learn, I think I would lean heavily into more of how to code and how to really think algorithmically. Or maybe some would say computational thinking. So it's
Okay.
thinking with procedures and knowing the algorithms. So you
Okay.
need to know conceptually that.
Okay, conceptual. Okay, talk about this and imagine about this. Finishing all of this competition and then finishing your high school, and then what are you going to be? Are you going to be a computer scientist or programming, or maybe you have another kind of a, I don't know, idea to get to be something, or in not too far you're going to finish your high school, right?
Yes.
What major you're going to have?
Okay. So I think first of all, I think being a researcher or computer scientist is a bit too theoretical for myself.
Okay.
I think I prefer more of a practical, hands-on approach to programming in general. So for my universities or majors, I'm planning on taking computer science along with physics as well.
Along with the physics as
Yes.
well. Okay. Do you have in your mind what kind of university you're going to apply?
I'm looking for something abroad. So maybe like MIT or NUS, for an example.
That's really great university, right? I really
Yes.
hope you can get each all of them and then you can choose. That's really great. Do you find your competitors is really hard to beat or not too
Well,
difficult?
for me personally, I don't really think about the competition too much because since I think about more of a you're given the problem and you need to work on it. So I don't really see the enemies as well. I need to get past them because you can't even see how they're doing in the middle of the contest, anyways.
Do they give any present for this? Sorry,
I
it's a
don't.
very easy thing to answer. Yeah.
Okay. I don't think they have physical. I don't think they have physical gifts or prizes in general. Yeah, I don't know if they hand out medals if we go to Russia.
Oh,
I don't know though.
you don't know though. They
Yeah.
they send you the medal?
No.
No, also just like
Yeah.
I don't know.
They just gave the slide,
The
perhaps.
slide also, and you do
Yeah.
we say sorry, certificates. Yeah.
I
Oh, no.
don't know yet about the certificate. I haven't really checked that.
Why do you want to join with this competition?
Well, yeah. Well, for me, I think it's one of the reasons I still join informatics competition is for practicing again. Yeah,
Okay, this is about practice. Yeah.
and also it's about reviewing and also, well, I think it's more of a doing it because I can as well.
Okay. What kind of a competition do you think in your mind that's really difficult and you are you have you develop some kind like eagerness to join or to compete in this competition? Do you have in mind?
Well, I think like if you're in high school and you're doing competitive programming, especially in Indonesia, I think one of the hardest ones would be IOI.
BIOI.
Yeah.
Some people say to me that maybe you have that ability. I mean, you have changed for joining with this competition. Is that true?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I came quite close to some of the selected IOI participants. I don't mean to brag, but I think that's true.
Okay. We pray for your success.
Oh,
I really
thank
pray
you
for your
so
success.
much.
That's going to be good for you and also for our high school, right?
Oh,
And
yes.
tell me about OSN now because you're preparing another not informatic but physics.
Yes.
Yes. You how the
Oh.
preparation now?
Okay, so for me, one of the important preparations is looking back at the past papers. Again, so you need to get a grasp of what the materials are and how to think about it. I also suggest you look at the syllabus again so you know exactly what materials to focus, especially because you have limited time. Because probably by the time you're watching this, it's probably less than a week until OSP. Or maybe you're already done doing OSP or just waiting for an announcement. I don't really know. Yes, and while you're doing that, I think it's good to just check on the materials and looking back at the past papers to know what to expect.
Okay. Still, you are working exercise with the past paper.
Yes.
Okay, I have some kind like curiosity also about
Okay.
this. The student who really good in OSN or in the Olympiad things.
Oh, yes.
Do you have a good mark in your report card?
Yes.
Suppose. Can you tell me around what numbers?
Is it so the average per report?
The average?
I think it's around 95.
Oh, quite high. And what about the informatics and physics? Is maybe more than 95, 90 something, or maybe 100?
I think it's 99 or 100.
99. Oh, wow. Okay, 99 or 100. Some people say to me, do you have any idea what kind of food do you have actually, because you have your report in your report card is 100 bullet sorry very 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 very, yeah, 100, it means 100, yeah.
Well, I do like sushi, but I don't think that's responsible.
Yeah, you like sushi, but actually there is no yeah, but maybe
Yeah.
because you like fish. Okay.
Maybe, but I can't prove the correlation.
Yeah,
though.
it's very when we see the report card from a student, yeah,
Yes.
their report card, when we see 99 or 100, it is really really real numbers in that, because it's really hard to get that, to get onto that numbers.
Oh, yes, indeed.
Yeah, you have 100 in your
Yeah.
report card. Okay, congratulations actually.
Thank you.
Yes. So you are good also in physics or in informatics. What about your
Yes.
math, biology, and chemistry, and maybe another subjects?
So another subject that I'm doing quite well is mathematics as well.
Mm-hmm.
Well, for chemistry and biology, I think I'm following good. I don't exactly remember what grades I do get in school, but yeah, I think those are quite a bit challenging, but still following.
Okay, for another subject beside that you really like, I mean, the most your favorite subject, I mean, the other
Okay.
subject, how do you manage that?
Well, for me, I think it's just paying attention to what the teacher said and really trying to understand what they want. And also, each of the different subjects have different patterns.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, one subject might have teachers that demand critical thinking skills, while some might focus, most of them focus on analysis though. So, at least in SMA Wardaya, if you can think about it critically and if you can analyze the question, I think you're pretty much good, as long as you also understand and remember the material.
Okay, how long per day you study?
I think it varies depending on what I'm trying to prepare for.
Okay, maybe average, for the average,
Maybe around 2 or 3 hours, maybe.
every day.
Well, make that 1 to 3 hours.
Okay.
It's quite fluctuating.
I'm sorry, it doesn't mean I I just want to know about, because you are good, and then I think maybe you can have you can give some motivation for the another student to prepare everything before the class begin, right? Something like that. And tell me, what kind of what is the most subject that you really like? I mean, your favorite one, because you can do most of them, but give me one. The favorite subject.
Well, I think it's probably either math or biology or chemistry.
Oh,
I mean, that's what is engaging, because at least for physics and informatics, I'm not saying they're not good or anything. It's just that I already have some of the basics, and actually some of the physics materials actually came up during OS and OSK OSP too.
okay,
So
I get it.
it's quite a bit repetitive in nature once you do it like that.
Okay, compared to Indonesian curriculum and
Yes.
also the A-level Cambridge, how do you rate both of them? I mean, can you make? I mean, it is easier one of them, or it is difficult, or how?
Well, I think it's also a bit relative in terms of difficulty.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I find the A-level style of having to just understand the concept and being able to name it in general, I think that's quite good, because, for example, in science in Indonesia, there's a lot of memorization and
Okay.
right, you have to memorize the species name. Is that still a thing here?
Okay. Which one do you like mostly? Analysis thing or memorize?
I like analysis a lot more than memorizing, to be honest.
Okay. Because memorizing sometimes is really tricky, right?
Yes, and also
Okay.
like if you understand the concept,
And
let's
you
say
can
you forgot,
explain and
yeah,
answer the
yeah,
question. Okay.
and you can also like, if you forgot one tiny bit, you
Uh-huh.
might be able to use what you already learned or what you still have in your brain to infer
Yeah.
what's
Not little
left.
legs like memorizing things,
Yeah,
but you can develop. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, that's really great. Your answer. Um, and tell me, who's the one who really support? Who really, uh, what do you say? Who's the one who really support your everything?
Okay, so I would I would like to thank my parents for
Mm-hmm.
giving me all the support I
Mm-hmm.
need during these
Mm-hmm.
years, especially maybe during COVID when we're often alone, right? And also to hear, I'm also grateful to all the teachers in SMA Wardaya for being understanding for
Okay.
the work I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Tell me about what tips and tricks to become a good champion or a good Olympiad.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe one of the things you need to do is just maybe I'm going to go informatics specific first, okay? So, for example, in most Olympiads in high school, you'll have something called subtasks. So they're basically little breadcrumbs that you can do. And what I recommend doing is you at least think about what each subtask means, because most of the time, and again, there's some questions that might have some useless subtasks or open case ones. If you don't think it's related, you can just ignore it if you will. But if you're stuck, I suggest looking at those easier subtasks, because sometimes there are easy expansions to go ahead. For example, maybe it's small and then you go a bit bigger and then you go a bit more complex. And it really helps you just to understand where you should be growing your ideas and how. So that's one of the things. Another thing is just to look at all the questions, and this is during the competition, okay? It's just to look at all the questions and do what you think is easiest. Yeah.
That's a good tricks. One more. In order to prepare your Olympiad or your competition, do you think you like to discuss things with your teammates, or maybe this is some kind like a solo or a personal or very individual competition for you?
Well, for Tuymaada in specific, I didn't really discuss a lot. So usually when I'm stuck, I tend to look at the editorial, but I usually look at it line by line just to get a hint. So, or maybe if the editorials are good or well structured, they usually actually give you hints or little observations to follow. So those things are also kind of good. Okay.
Akava, thank you very much for coming, because this is really, really interesting to have you here
Okay.
and to have you explain all those things that actually in the beginning it is easy for me to hear, and but
Okay.
in the middle and also in the end it's quite difficult.
Oh, did I put too
Okay,
much
okay.
jargon?
No, it's okay. I mean, the jargon is fine. I think some people who, maybe mostly people who watch this podcast is going to understand mostly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not too difficult actually, but very specific. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you very much for coming. I really hope you can get what you want in the future. For example,
Okay.
like MIT. I really hope you get MIT very soon, or in
Okay.
US. That's also a good school.